Hello everybody and welcome to Let's Look at QUBE. That's Q-U-B-E, Quick Understanding of Block Extrusion. I didn't just make that up off the top of my head, that's actually what the abbreviated title stands for. This is a new indie platformer slash puzzler that just came out on Steam yesterday, and I have no trouble saying that this is probably the best indie game of the year, and I mean that half facetiously, because we are only a week into the new year, and as far as I know this is the first big indie release, but also this game is actually pretty just damn good. The best way to think of it probably is that this is the indie version of Portal. Let's start with our sector select here. We're going to go sector 1 and basically just start from the very beginning of the game and show you the basics. So we're playing as this. As far as I know, I've only played about half an hour so far. I believe this is like a nameless, faceless, seemingly android protagonist here. And he's wearing a very special set of gloves, and they do resemble the Power Glove, which kind of works in the game's favor, at least for me. It brings back a nice little sense of nostalgia. But no, this game is thoroughly modern, definitely in its aesthetic and also in the way it plays. Now, it is a puzzler. When I say this is the indie Portal, I'm using, big air quotes, but that's not too far from the truth, to be honest with you. As we get started here, you will understand that. We're basically put in this kind of nameless complex, and we're giving a series of rooms, and when we solve the puzzles in those rooms to get to the exit, we move on to the next room. It's a formula that's not broken, so why fix it? So as we get going here, I literally knew nothing about this game before the developers were nice enough to send me a review copy, and I was pleasantly surprised to find out that this game is actually pretty damn good. So here we go. This cube lighting up here means we're entering Sector 1. It appears that there are 9 sectors in the game, or 7, I can't quite tell. I'm only on Sector 3 in my own game right now. So using our left glove here, and left click, we can cause this to rise, and this will allow us to jump up here. And then of course we can do the same thing here, but with our right click, moving things down. So basically our first mechanic, left click moves red blocks out, right click moves them in. So obviously for this puzzle, we're just going to make ourselves a nice little staircase. Things start out pretty easy, and like the original Portal, they don't get that difficult, but it's always satisfying when you figure it out as a result of that. So we got various different colored blocks here. These are blue blocks. They respond the same way. If you left click, they go out. If you right click, they go in. However, they have something a little bit special about them. If you jump on them, or even just step on them, they will kind of propel you upwards, like a spring. So again, this is a pretty easy puzzle we got going here. I think we'll just do a double bounce here. Then we'll bounce on this little guy. Should put us nearly to the exit. Now we'll just pull this block out as a kind of platform that we can use. That might even be too far. Let's see. Nope, it's perfect. So we've solved that puzzle. We'll move to the next room. Now we have yellow blocks. Yellow blocks kind of work like a built-in staircase. If you left click on the far left one, it'll build a staircase to the left. If you left click on the far right one, builds a staircase to the right. Left click in the middle, builds it kind of like a podium, or a middle finger, depending on whether you're white trash or not. So we're going to build ourselves a nice little staircase up here. And of course it works exactly the same with this as well. Let's see where we're going. We're going over there. We're probably going to want it like this then, with this block sticking the furthest out. There's a nice little ambient music as well. Obviously there's no GLaDOS or anything, because they're already getting pretty close to copyright infringement, maybe. No, that's a joke, but still. This time we're going to want to make the staircase this way and come up. There's a nice little ambient music. Definitely, I'm very impressed with this for an indie title. I mean, I'm saying that as someone who played like 100 indie games last year, so it's meaningful. But I kind of feel like people are going to watch this video and be like, oh, he's just saying that because it's like the first indie game of the year. He's all starstruck. This exact same thing happened last year with Space Chem. Oh, let me make sure I'm doing this puzzle right. I almost messed this up the first time I played. There we go. That was actually easier. Like last year, Space Chem came out in like February, and everyone was like, "Oh, Northern Line loves Space Chem," but it's only because there hasn't been anything else good this year. And then by the end of the year, still love Space Chem. That game is still pretty awesome. Let's make our way up through here. So I really think, we've all got a kind of a hangover from the Steam holiday sales, and paying $15 for an indie game seems like kind of like insanity. And I guess in some ways it is. Oh god, what's going on here? Oh, they're just closing the door. Like I could go backwards anyway. In some ways it is, because obviously, I'm sorry because the developers are probably watching this right now, but the game inevitably will go on sale at some point. I mean, right now it's on an opening week sale for $12.74 instead of $15. But this is a game that's definitely worth full price, and unless you feel like waiting 12 months to play it, then this would be a good time to pick it up. I'm definitely not disappointed so far. I mean, obviously I got my copy for free, but still. using my, like, little bit of journalistic integrity, I feel comfortable in saying that this is a game worth playing. Let's jump on this, get on top of this red block here. Oh, that was a pretty bad jump here. Once we finish Sector 1, we'll see some new puzzles as well. In fact, some of my... I'm not doing this right. 1 second. Push this one back in. Once we finish Sector 1, which we will finish pretty quickly, I believe, we will move into some kind of more interesting puzzles and some rooms that really took me by surprise and I had a lot of fun with. In particular, I'll let you know when we get there. Assuming I can actually beat this room, because I just keep falling off this yellow block here at the top. Now, the one, caveat I would say is that it doesn't seem like the game is very long. Like I said, I played for about a half hour, and I'm on Sector 3 of, again, 7 or 9. So, it's possible that the game might not be more than, 3 hours long. Could be longer, though. Who knows? Let's push this in. As always, these are first impressions videos, not reviews. I don't claim to know absolutely everything about the game. All I claim is to convey my feelings, and my feelings right now are that I'm having a really good time with this game. That's the end of Sector 1 already. So we've basically mastered the use of the red, yellow, and blue blocks, and now we're going to enter Sector 2 here. And I'm only going to show Sector 1 and Sector 2 in this video, because, frankly, I don't want to show Sector 3, because I haven't beaten Sector 3 yet, so I don't know if it's any good. Or if I'm any good at it, is what I should say. So, with these green blocks, basically, if we hit this button, green block resets to this spot with the checkered green area on it. Basically, we're just going to use this as a staircase here. Things will get more interesting now. So what you have to do for this one, you can realize that we can't do anything to the green blocks. Can't push them around, can't use our gloves on them. So we have to use the red and yellow blocks to push the green blocks. So what we're going to do here, use this red block, push the green block onto this red block. Then we'll push this red block up as high as it can go. And that's it right there. Build a staircase with the yellow block. And then we've got an extra rung on that staircase as a result of that green block, and we'll come through here into the next room. Now this is a slightly more tricky one. You can probably, if you pause the video for yourself, you can probably figure this out at home. Watch this. Push the red block, which will push the green block. You'll hit the blue block, come out, pull the red block out there, which will allow us to trap that green block in the air. And then I believe we should be able to make ourselves a little staircase and then get up here. Now again, you're watching me do these puzzles not for the first time, so, take it with a grain of salt when you see me solve it in like 10 seconds. Because these took me, between 1 and 5 minutes to solve it myself when I was doing it, blind. Now it's a little bit more easy. And I've actually forgotten how this one's going to go. First, I think I have to get up here. And then we're going to push this red block out a little bit. Put the blue block down so it can act as a spring. And then red block out, red block out. Very quick timing on that. Okay, now what do we do? Obviously, we've got to build a staircase. Well, let's move this back. And this red block out. I think I'm doing this right now. Yeah, okay, that'll drop the green block. And then we'll build ourselves a staircase like this. Oh, but I can't get to where I want to go there. I can't jump up on top of that. Okay, 1 second. Maybe I can use the spring to get up? Yes, I can. Is that going to put me close enough to the top? It will, okay. And I think in the next room or two is the puzzle that really impressed me. Yes, this is the one, okay. So I'm not sure if you can see this, but hopefully it works out the way it worked out when I was doing it. Hit the play button, a ball should come out of here, and it just falls on this block. What we have to do is actually guide that ball all the way down to the bottom and get it to fall into this green pit over here. So we can't land on that. Or we can land on it, we can't fall through it. But in order to get to the next room, we have to use that ball as kind of a key. So we basically got to take this obstacle by obstacle. So we've got this first red block here, obviously, which just needs to come up. Very, very simple. So we'll pull this red block up. That's too far. We'll put it right there. Then we'll hit the play button. We'll see that this will roll down, it'll get past this red block, and then it'll get stuck in this little cavern right here. So you see it's on the second lane from the right. So what we'll do is we'll try to set this up in such a way... Oh, that's not going to do it. But I put like a staircase with like that here, and a staircase like this here. That'll do it. Okay, now we'll have the ball come down again. It'll get past here, and then it'll get stuck down in this little cavern right here. And what we got to do for that, obviously, is we'll bring this up. How are we going to do this? It's been a little while since I did this myself. That's not the way. That's not the way either. I think we gotta go like this, and then push this one out all the way, and then make a staircase from the middle. Yeah, okay, that'll do it. Now the ball will come back down, make it through the first obstacle, the second. But then we run into a little bit of a problem here, because there's no way for us to fill these two, like, gray blocks right here. So the ball's just gonna fall in there every time. Now we gotta do basically some quick time event. Well, not a quick time event, but we gotta react more quickly. So when the ball comes down, we're gonna hit it with one of these. Oh, or we're gonna miss it completely. Let's try that again. I should have that out one already. So when it comes down, we're just gonna poke it. There we go, and that should be in. Oh god, I think I hit it too far. It's not on the right trajectory anymore. Alright, put this one back. Sometimes this happens with physics-based games. Push it a little bit later. There we go, now that should do it. That'll put it on this lane. And then we'll just lower the spring. Bounce off the spring. Land in the pit. And all is forgiven for that earlier mistake. And that'll be the end of Sector 2, and that'll also be the end of my Let's Look At of QUBE. Let me end this with a hearty recommendation. Even though it's only the first week of the year, you know, in December, you're not going to feel bad about buying QUBE the first week. This is definitely an indie release that is kind of unlike other indie releases. I mean, we had In Momentum that came out last year that was like an ambitious first-person, I guess you could say it was physics-based, but it was a very different game, but it had the same kind of ambition as this one did. But I think this one succeeds much, much better. I think QUBE is definitely something, I'm not going to say that it's going to be on my Game of the Year list, but it's certainly going to be something that's going to be considered. I mean, we got a lot of great indie games coming out next year. But anyway, this is definitely the best one that we've had so far, and if you're a fan of indie games, and in particular if you're a fan of Portal, which, and this sounds kind of counterintuitive, but I'm not really a huge fan of Portal, but I like this one. But if you're a fan of Portal, this game is going to be right up your alley as well. Currently going for $12.75 on Steam for the rest of the week. And then it will be going up to its, manufacturer's suggested retail price of $15. Highly recommended at both of those price points. Or, if you want to wait, pick it up at a sale in 12 months, you cheap Ebenezer Scrooge. Anyway, as always, thank you guys for watching. I'll see you next time.